Guten Tag, Damen und Herren. Today I am going to introduce my good friend Colonel Klink. No, I'm kidding. This is Iggy from Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. And today we're going to talk about my homemade G.I. Joe Footlocker. So let's go into my bedroom and take a look at it. Say goodbye to Friedrich. And here we go. And oh, look, I have. Who is that? Okay, that's not my cat. Who is that? Anyway, I feed some stray cats in the neighborhood. People move and leave their cats behind, so I try and feed them. Makes the neighbors mad too. They'd rather see them starve to death. Nice people. Okay, so here's my G.I. Joe Footlocker. This is homemade. A neighbor of mine named Mike gave it to me. Now, in 1970, all the other kids were way gone from G.I. Joe. They had moved on to slot car racing and bicycles and dirt bike riding. But I was still interested in G.I. Joe, so I took the Footlocker off of him. I painted it this green color, and then I taped off this portion here, painted it white so that I could recreate the original Footlocker, and I put my name on it, of course. And this G.I. Joe here is from a toy that I got for Christmas, and I cut the label off and pasted it to the thing here, and then I varnished the whole thing. The paint was left over from this over here. Sorry to be swinging around so much like that. This is a model 1916 helmet that I restored. I put a new liner in it, and I painted it. I got the helmet, I think, for like $75. That's a reproduction gas mask, but the helmet itself is a real, genuine article. Okay, so let's go back to the Footlocker and open it up so you can get a look at the inside. Oh, and here I keep my original G.I. Joes. I only have 4 left. I had 6 of them back in the 1960s. And 2 of them were destroyed by being in the swimming pool because I had the deep sea diver. This is the only thing left that's original from the diving deep sea diver that I had. And I also had the sea sled, which none of that is surviving. So let's take them out and have you take a look at these original Joes. Got his arm screwed up there. When I was a kid, this was my favorite one, and that's why his face is a little dirty there. What's this guy? This is the very first G.I. Joe that I ever got, was this sailor. And my dad had gone on a business trip to Chicago, and when he came back, he brought me this G.I. Joe. This is the one that he gave me in 1964. And he also gave me the Marine parachute set. You know, it came with a parachute and a carbine. And I don't know, I'm not sure why he did that, but I had a sailor with a parachute, which I thought was an interesting combination. I still have the parachute to this day, but the carbine, the kid up the street stabbed it in the grass and broke the barrel off of it. But in here, I have all my original G.I. Joe stuff and all these stickers back here. This one here, I used to love that show when I was a kid. I bought the two-season set DVDs, and it's not as good as I remember. In fact, it's kind of cheesy. But anyway, when you're a kid, you you weren't as discerning as they say. Um, this is what the original locker looked like in its entirety until I painted it. And this, I think, is from a gas station, golf gas stations. They were passing out stickers to all the kids, and we put them on our notebooks, and I had an extra one, and somehow it ended up in here. But all my, this is all original stuff. The G.I. Joe medic helmet and medical bag. This is the green beret. Now, the reason why I have the green beret is because one year my mom went on strike for Christmas, and she said to my dad, look, if you think it's so easy to do the Christmas shopping, you do it. And Dad didn't take her very seriously about that. So Christmas Eve comes, and Dad realizes that Mom had not done any Christmas shopping. So Dad rushed out with like 2 hours to spare, maybe even less. He went to Sears and started throwing stuff into the cart. So that year I got stuff for G.I. Joe that Mom would never get me. So I got a bazooka, and I still have the bazooka. It still functions. Here's that parachute I was talking to you about. Is this it? Yeah, that's it right there. I had to replace the buckle on. Somehow the buckle disappeared. But most of the stuff in here is original. There's a few things that are reproduction. Like in this one, I never had the Navy attack set, but I had the Navy helmet and life preserver. I just didn't have the flags, so I purchased the flags from Cotswold Collectibles. Cotswold Collectibles years ago used to have a ton of repro G.I. Joe stuff so that you could complete things that were, missing parts and things. In fact, you can still get body parts for your Joe from them, which is kind of nice. A bunch of machine guns and flamethrowers. I remember, I think I was like 13 years old, and I went into a Woolworths, and they had all this G.I. Joe stuff on clearance. It was just unbelievable amount of G.I. Joe stuff. So I bought a 30 caliber machine gun, a rifle and cartridge belt set, sandbags, and a carded German equipment set. Because one of my neighbors had given me a German helmet and a German coat. And years later, I was able to get the German pants on eBay, and I bought some reproduction boots from Cotswold Collectibles and was able to finish out a German G.I. Joe from the Soldiers of the World. Let's see. Let's go in here. This life raft I have here, it's never worked. When I got this, it was glued to a card, and you can still see the glue to this day. And when I pulled it up off the card, it ripped it over here, so you can't blow it up. And the reason why I kept the life raft is because my grandmother bought it for me. She took me to a toy store in Pasadena, and she said, hey, look, you can have anything you want. And I said, really? And there's like bicycles and all stuff. But I knew my grandmother didn't have any money, so I picked out a life raft, a carded signals set. I still have the signal paddles and the helmet. And that was it, because I knew Grandma didn't have money. But I kept the raft all these years because of, it reminds me of when Grandma and I went out. There's a few other things in here that's not G.I. Joe. Like these sandbags, I think are from Ultimate Soldier, but I'm not positive. And this is a 40th anniversary set. This is a dress Air Force uniform. This is original. Now, the reason I have like the Marine dress uniform, the Shore Patrol, things like that is because Mom would buy the G.I. Joe things that were sort of non-violent, like the medic, dress uniforms, sea sled, deep sea diver. I love the deep sea diver. God, I would spend hours playing with that in the pool until my skin would get all wrinkly. Now my skin's wrinkly because I'm old, but back then it was because I was in the water all the time. I had the MP, and there's another G.I. Joe down in here somewhere. Recently I've been into trying to do the ski patrol or the Arctic G.I. Joe. And what I had done is I bought a coat and pants and mittens online that are original. And then I have a 40th anniversary set with the snowshoes. Also, I bought some goggles from Cotswold Collectibles. This is the 30th anniversary G.I. Joe. And that was kind of cool. The equipment on it I liked. But the Joe itself had a really weird body, and so I actually threw it out. I didn't like it. Here's some more 40th anniversary stuff. And there's a G.I. Joe in there with an Air Force G.I. Joe with a marigold. I think the marigold